Hey guys, welcome back. Joey again, Vegas D-Tech, putting together a real quick video for you here in response to the video that I made yesterday concerning iron masking. It was that video was just simply about how detectors react to iron and my quest to find out more on how I can better myself out there in the parks with the equipment that I have. Now, in no way yesterday was that supposed to be a detector comparison to say this detector compared to that detector, blah, blah, blah. But I got a couple of comments yesterday where individuals, especially Equinox individuals here, seem to not like the fact that the Simplex outperformed it in an actual iron separation test or iron masking test, okay? And I was just going to say no problem, but I was like, no. Because here's the situation. A lot of people think that the Simplex, and this was never supposed to be Simplex versus Equinox, but a lot of people tend to think that the Simplex cannot outperform the Equinox. And it isn't supposed to, right? Not for a machine that's worth double what the Simplex is. But in that test that I did right there, the Simplex beat it in an iron mask test. Now, the subscriber told me that, no, it's not fair because you use the SP24 coil on the Simplex. But this is not a separation test. In a separation test, yes, coil sizes and coil shapes matter because you can weed yourself through targets. But in an actual iron mask test, the fact is it's just iron and the object that you want under the coil at the same time. What will it read? So anyways, to prove a point, I went ahead and redid the test. I swapped the coil out and put the 11-inch coil back on to the Simplex. And individual told me that not only do I have to put the 11-inch coil back on the Simplex, I must run the Equinox in all metal to make it an even comparison. Okay, so let's do that right now. All right, guys, so let's take it. We're in part 2. We got the 11-inch coil on, Simplex, big old rusty bolt and a quarter. What can it do? Sounds good to me. I'll dig that all day. Now, what will this guy do? Equinox. So the subscriber here said that the coils have to be the same. He says if you put the SP24, it will not be the same test. So we got 11 and 11. All right. Now to make it fair, let's go ahead and make sure. Let's make sure that the iron bias is 0. No iron bias. Okay, so we should be equal because that don't even have an iron bias setting. Equal. All right. And individual says it's got to be in all metal. It's got to be in all metal. So here's all metal. Right? Let's see what it can do. All I'm hearing is iron, man. No blips, no chips. I'm not stopping for that. So guys, the fact of the matter is, man, it's not about who's better, Simplex versus Equinox. But in certain situations, man, the Simplex can perform better than the Equinox. And this is one of them in the iron mask test. All right, so there was the test, man. I did exactly what the subscriber asked me to do. Wanted me to swap the coils out and make sure both of them were 11. Wanted me to run the Equinox zero iron bias, so they're both equal because the Simplex does not have an iron bias setting on it. It's just stock from the factory. And I also went ahead and ran it in all metal mode. Whatever. All I heard was ba-buzz, 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 saying iron, iron, iron. That's all I heard from the Equinox. With the Simplex, I was hearing the coin. You guys heard the coin. And the VDI was actually, you know that the VDI on a 25-cent quarter normally is about a 90 to a 95, and I was getting high 90 hits, so that would have been enough for me to stop and investigate it with an iron bolt in the same hole. However, I couldn't say that that's the same thing that happened with the Equinox. Iron bolt, same hole with a quarter, you're missing that quarter. That I didn't, I didn't set that test up. It is what it is, guys. So anyways, I wasn't trying to do a metal detector comparison test yesterday. All I really wanted to do was show you the behaviors of how metal next to a ferrous target would actually sound, in the behaviors with all of the detectors that I personally owned. And I had to settle this little dispute here, saying, the Simplex wasn't a fair comparison to the Equinox. And hey, guys, you know what? It's a bitter reality to have to accept that sometimes the little guy wins. Sometimes it's better to bring a knife to a sword fight. Am I in any way insinuating that the Simplex is a better detector than the Equinox? No, it shouldn't be. At least on paper, it shouldn't be. The technology between the two are years apart, you know what I mean? So they shouldn't be the same. But in certain scenarios, certain detectors will outshine other detectors in certain scenarios. Now, I'm not the only one to say that. If you've watched some of Paystreak's videos, you've seen him take the Simplex and show that the Simplex can find bracelets, that the Equinox could not. So it just is what it is, man. It's not always the case that a multi-frequency detector is going to beat out a single frequency detector. It's scenarios and situations that you're detecting in. One detector can outshine another detector. So that's it, my friends. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you have a detector that should not, on paper be better than and more expensive detector? And are there situations and scenarios where you found that your Simplex actually performs better than a detector worth twice the cost? Let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate that. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave this video at that. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next upload. Take it easy.